We're making chicken cacciatore. Cacciatore means hunter in Italian, and it means to cook with ingredients like onions, tomatoes, herbs, and sometimes a little bit of wine. So I am all for that. I've got chicken thighs with bone in. We're gonna season this with a little bit of salt and pepper. This is a really rustic home-style dish with so many different variations. I'm gonna get this well seasoned before I dredge it in the flour. The flour is gonna act as a barrier to retain the moisture while it cooks. It will also give a really nice brown color, almost reminiscent of fried chicken, which I could definitely go for right now. So just a really nice coating. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to turn my heat on to medium-high. I want to get this a good sear. You can serve chicken cacciatore with rice, pasta, or quinoa on its own, or just on the vegetables. I'm going to drizzle in some olive oil. And I'm going to sear this skin side down. It's going to be really tempting not to touch it. You just want to give it some time. And let it brown. Touch more olive oil. I like hearing that sizzle. The chicken's been browning nicely for a few minutes. And we've got this gorgeous golden brown color. Now it's not done all the way through. I'm going to remove it off the heat and make the sauce, and it will finish cooking through in the sauce. It is really crispy, these bits. I want to brown my onions in them and really scrape up all those delicious pieces. I want to get a really good caramelization going. Get the sugars out of the onions and they get really sweet. We'll help it along with a knob of butter. Oh, the smell is unreal. So this will go for a few minutes. I'm picking up all the bits from the bottom. In one of its original forms, the recipe is made with bell peppers, but I'm not a fan of bell peppers, so I didn't include it. There are also variations with mushrooms, red wine. You can play around with however you like to. Now I'm going to go in with tomato paste. We really want to let this cook out the rawness of the tomato. This is going to add a really rich depth in color. In the meantime, I'm going to cut up my tomatoes. I've got Roma tomatoes here that I'm going to cut and get in the sauce. This is going to break down and add even more tomato flavor. I don't have to cut it super fine. It'll just break down in the sauce as it cooks. Oh, all that tomato goodness. I'm going to go in with some garlic. creating a really solid base of flavors here. This is breaking down exactly the way I want it to. I'm going to go in with some white wine. If you go to cheekynibbles.com, the recipe and instructions are available for you. It calls for a bit of chicken stock. I don't have that because we're in a lockdown right now. So we're using what I have. I'm using a little bit more wine. So all the tomato has broken down. I've got all the bits and pieces from the bottom of the pan scraped. I wish you could smell this through the camera. I'm going to turn the heat down ever so slightly, and I'm going to chop my olives and capers. We're just going to give this a rough chop. Heading into the Mediterranean here. Amazing. It's going to go in the pot. This is so reminiscent of a pasta puttanesca with the olives and the capers. Oh, so good. So now it's time to add the chicken back in. And the moisture will cook the chicken all the way through. Get some of the juices back in. So we're going to let the chicken cook in the sauce for a few minutes. We'll add another touch of butter. And we'll put the lid on. In the meantime, I've got a little topping. I've made breadcrumbs with gluten-free bread. That's all I had. Just blitz a few pieces of bread, toast it, or you could toast it then blitz it. Either way is fine. We're gonna add some Parmesan, and this is gonna go on top of the chicken and it'll give it a really good texture. Some basil. Just a rough chop. And some green onion. Not only will this add flavor and texture, but a really nice pop of color. And we'll save this till the end. I'm not going to add any salt to it because we've got lots of robust flavors in the sauce already. I'm going to set this aside. It's coated in that luscious sauce. Oh, I can't wait to dig in. Messy girl. Alright, it's going to need a few more minutes and we'll come back with our pasta. So like movie magic, I've got my water boiling. I'm going to get the pasta in. I'm using spinach pasta. You can use whatever you have lying around. I'm going to break this in half. And this will take no time. Meanwhile, my chicken is done. I just have to turn the heat off. It's been simmering. I've added salt into my water already. And if I didn't have so much butter in my sauce, I would definitely butter my pasta. This is ready in a few minutes. I'm going to drain the water out. My pasta is draining and I'm ready to plate. Whew. This is going to be great contrast in colors. Get the green pasta. Chicken on top. And a sprinkle of our breadcrumbs. Voila. Is that pretty? Oh, the chicken is so moist. The pasta really doesn't need anything because the sauce is so rich. It just soaks it all up. And the chicken is so moist. Perfectly al dente. I'm really enjoying the tomatoes. Go ahead and visit www.chickennoodles.com for the full recipe. Oh, and I keep forgetting. I'm supposed to ask you guys to subscribe. Right in that little piggy button to the left-hand side, I think. And I'll see you next time.